no matter how fast you are.
I am not to be compared to you.
No one outruns their past.
Welcome to your weekly ticket. Well, the Fast and the Furious saga is coming to an end with a two-part movie over Fast 10 and Fast 11. Originally, Universal had planned to debut its latest chapter F9 in theaters this year, but that release was delayed due to COVID-19. Both Fast 10 and Fast 11 will be directed by Justin Lin, and while the cast has not yet been confirmed, it's expected that returning cast members Vin Diesel, Michelle Rodriguez, Tyrese Gibson, and Ludacris will appear. Tom Holland has just shared a first look at his character from the upcoming film Uncharted. Holland will play a younger version of the video game hero Nathan Drake, and the movie is set to be an origin story for the character. The original Nathan Drake voice actor Nolan North also shared a few images from the set, which included himself talking to Holland, ancient ruins, and some mystical artifacts that are likely to appear in the film. Ruben Fleischer is set to direct the film, which has been in the works for about a decade. In addition to Holland, Mark Wahlberg, Antonio Banderas, Sophia Taylor-Ollie, and Tati Gabriel are also set to star. And just like that, Holland is off to star on his next project, Spider-Man 3.
Okay, so we just landed in Atlanta, and it's time for Spider-Man 3. Let's go!
The Meg is getting a sequel, and a director just got on board. Warner Brothers has tapped British filmmaker Ben Wheatley to direct The Meg 2. Much of the film's cast will likely return, including Jason Statham, who portrayed a US Navy diver sent to rescue divers from a shark attack. A giant prehistoric shark attack. There's no word yet on when production will begin on the sequel. Well, we're rounding out the spookiest month of the year by taking a look at some of our favorite horror films and celebrating the female leads in them with FandangoNOW's list of horror heroines. There's no one better to help us out with this list of horror heroines than horror vet, actor, producer, Barbara Crampton. Hey Barbara, how you doing?
Hey, how are you, Khail? Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. We often hear the term Scream Queen versus Final Girl. Can you give us a little bit of history on those tropes and how they've changed?
Yeah, I believe that it was Fay Wray who first received that moniker after she did King Kong. And really, it's a moniker that has continued to this day. It went on and continued on with people who are so famous in the genre like Jamie Lee Curtis and others. But I have to tell you, even Fay Wray and Jamie Lee Curtis were not fans of that term, Scream Queen. And I am definitely not a fan of that term as well. I will admit that a lot of people use that term fondly. But to me, it feels like it pigeonholes women into seeming like they're like shrieking damsels in distress and they need help and they need somebody to come and save them. And believe me, with all the strong women I know, we are perfectly capable of handling ourselves and fighting our own battles.
Yeah, absolutely. You famously penned an op-ed called not using the term Scream Queen.
Please don't call me a Scream Queen.
Please
that was the title.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you have to read it like you just said it
yes,
too.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
What do you think feels different about horror now versus like the 80s?
You know, horror is one of the most lucrative genres. It never fails to make money. And I think Hollywood is just catching up to that now. I mean, we've seen movies like Get Out and The Shape of Water and Parasite and A Quiet Place and films like that. And I think that in the old days, we did probably just kind of relate to the more basic levels of what people were looking for, of women screaming, of a lot of blood, of some sort of mass killer going after people. But now it feels like we're telling the stories in a more nuanced way. And we're telling them through things that are really happening in our world. And they just feel more emotional and more true. And I think that's super smart. So I think that's why Hollywood has been getting involved in horror lately. They're disguising it as a drama, or when people say, oh, The Shape of Water is a horror movie, or Quiet Place is definitely a horror movie. Get Out is a horror movie. They go, oh, well, no, we don't want to call it a horror movie per se, but we definitely want the money that horror movie genre brings in. So I feel like Hollywood is not being honest with how they're dealing with the horror genre and what it's paved the way for and what it's been giving to all of us.
Sure. Yeah. Another great example of that would be Invisible Man, which turns out to be like about emotional abuse in a lot of ways. So
yeah, it was like a Me Too movie in a way, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. That's a great movie. But yeah, a lot of nuances in that.
Yes, and movie stars are now really wanting to do horror films.
Ooh, yeah. I'd love to see some people start to cross over.
Yeah.
So now this is a question I've been really looking forward to asking you. Who is like one of your favorite horror actresses from this list?
Let me say that Elizabeth Moss is on that list. I mean, I love her in The Handmaid's Tale. I loved her in Invisible Man. I mean, I think she's just internal, and you can, and they play to her. They play to what's on her face, and she's shown in a lot of close-ups because she gives you that. She can play with her emotions in a way that a lot of other actors really can't do. She goes places that other people can't go at the drop of a hat. So I would say Elizabeth Moss is a very affecting actor. I have to give my hats off to Sissy Spacek from Carrie. I feel like she's a fantastic actress and did a great job in Carrie. Fay Wray is one of my favorites. I mean, she is our ultimate, if we go back in history to someone who paved the way for all of us. Of new people right now, I'd say I really like Jessica Roth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We need more Jessica Roth.
Mm-hmm.
We absolutely need more of her.
She's very entertaining. She's an entertainer. She's a good actress. She can do comedy and she can do drama. She can be very scared, but she's also very exuberant. And that to me has been such a beautiful thing to see and witness her career over the past few years, because I feel like recently we were in this period of mumblecore where everybody was trying to out naturalize everybody else and just be regular and cool. And I just feel like she's put some life back into acting again, and she's just an exciting performer to watch. So
yeah. Happy Death Day is a great film, but like you're just so excited to watch her go through what's happening.
It is, yes. Yeah, she's an excited performer.
I love it. If anyone watching this hasn't seen Happy Death Day or Happy Death Day to You, you absolutely have to watch it.
I love both of them. They were great.
The trailer does not do enough justice to that movie. What do you hope to see from future horror films?
I really would like to see us go a little bit more mainstream and accepted. I feel like we're more accepted than we were maybe 20 years ago or 10 years ago. I'd like to see more film. I mean, Parasite and Shape of Water did well, award season. So I just like to see people just accept us as something that is more mainstream that you would gravitate towards seeing. I hear a lot of people say, I don't want to go to a horror movie because I don't like to be scared. Well, we are scared every day with our political system that's going on right now. I live in fear every moment of my life. I'm cringing. A horror movie allows you to go through these experiences and usually and hopefully come out on the other side winning or being able to have a satisfying conclusion with the bad guys dead and the good guys surviving. And so I think we need to, have more experience with that on a visceral level watching horror movies. I think they're actually very therapeutic. And I feel like some people are afraid of horror movies, but when they watch them, they go, oh, that actually wasn't as scary as I thought. That was a good film. So I'd like to see us sort of weaved into the fabric of other genres a little bit more.
Perfectly said. Well, thank you so much, Barbara Crampton, for coming on. Where can people find you?
Well, come over. My address is no, just kidding.
That's a first. Let's go, everybody. Weekly ticket. Let's go.
Party at Barbara's house. It's just my name. I'm on pretty much everything: Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Barbara Crampton.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been a blast.
Thanks.
Available to watch in theaters on Friday is Come Play.
Just want to be your friend.
Oliver, a lonely young boy who feels different from everyone else, seeks solace and refuge in his ever-present cell phone and tablet. When a mysterious creature uses Oliver's devices against him to break into our world, Oliver's parents must fight to save their son from the monster beyond the screen. And available to watch at home on Friday is Spell.
This, it stands for you. Whatever happens to it, happens to you.
While flying to his father's funeral in rural Appalachia, an intense storm causes Marquis to lose control of the plane carrying himself and his family. He soon awakens wounded, alone, and trapped in Ms. Eloise's attic. Eloise claims she can nurse him back to health with a hoodoo figure she's made from his blood and skin. Unable to call for help, Marquis desperately tries to break free from her dark magic and save his family from a sinister ritual before the rise of the blood moon. Alright, that's it for today, but check out that full list of horror heroines and leave us a comment and let us know which one is your favorite. I'm Khail, and I'll see you next time.